I feel like I have acted actually quite rationally this whole time. Well, I feel like I've been rational and everyone else has been schizoing the fuck out.
How could he?
Uh-oh, retard alert!
Look at me, boys. I love getting fucking milked. Just milk me, boys. I'm a fucking cow.
What a nasty, vile fucking cunt.
My queen! How dare they insult thee?
Girls are scary. I love all these characters so much. I need to make sure that they have all of their constellations, that they're lit up completely, that they have the best treatment that they could ever possibly get, because they're a PNG, and I love PNGs. I love them more than real women, actually. And we all know Saint likes his dudes.
What's good, guys? It's your boy CJ, and we're back with another one of these videos. And today we actually got to talk about a lot of the shit that's been going on in the space over the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I haven't really been covering drama. I kind of got addicted to Star Savior, as well as getting into Girls Frontline 2 and several other games, and I've just been vibing, been gaming, right? But every day that I do go live, someone comes to the stream to talk about some of the drama that's been going on in the space, right? Someone has to say, did you hear about what this guy said? Did you hear about this guy's comeback? Did you hear about the person that's attacking the community? Yada, yada, yada. So, honestly, I don't give a shit. I know some of y'all met me through a lot of the drama content and the absolute grilling and destruction that we were doing to poor old Saintontas, but I'm not really a drama content creator. As a grown-ass man, chat, I feel like a bitch when it comes to making videos that are just drama to make drama, right? Just anything to get you out there. It feels like you're Gossip Girl, bro. The Real Housewives, bro. That's what it feels like when you're just making drama. And with that said, though, we're going to take a look at the biggest bitch, the biggest gossip girl in the entire gacha space to see what they've been up to over the past 2 weeks, give or take, week and a half, since you guys have been really asking me about it. And really the main reason that I made this video is because the last drama that he got into is honestly pretty funny, and especially the person that decided to reply to the biggest cum dumpster in the gacha space. So let's go ahead and have a little bit of a recap.
I feel like I have acted actually quite rationally this whole time. Well, I feel like I've been rational and everyone else has been schizoing the fuck out.
Yes, sir. We brought out the dog. And guys, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know shit that's been going on in the whole drama scene in the gacha space, because I honestly don't care. And I know some of you might be like, hold on, but you're like the best roaster. You are the absolute peak when it comes to shit talking in this whole gacha space situation. I know, guys, y'all don't gotta tell me twice. I know that, but I really don't like drama, bro. Bro, it just feels like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care for it, but I was going to make this video at some point. And what's crazy is that this video wasn't supposed to be a video shitting on, I mean, every video is shitting on Saintontas, but this wasn't supposed to be a video specifically about shitting on Saintontas. I was going to bring in other dramas that have been going on in the community, some things that have been going on between games and, you know, their community, things like that. Some other creators getting into beef, like Loki and Fox, that type of stuff. But the more I looked into it and the more I wrote this thing from what everybody's been telling me over the past week and a half, it was just Saintontas versus the world. Saintontas versus the world, because one thing he does is seek the drama, seek the attention. He reminds me of that one character from Fairly Odd Parents that was always telling people to tell her that she was pretty. But, I mean, he's ugly, so that don't work. But that type of attention seeking, yeah, that's what we got going on here. So, as I wrote this list, I was like, God damn, this motherfucker been busy in a week and a half. This is what he does. This is the signs of a desperate person, bro. Someone that needs to keep going. Otherwise, they have no income. They have no social life. They have nothing going on, so they have to keep this up. Otherwise, they'll really be in the hole, right? But let's stop with all the shit talking and let's actually move on to the news. Let's talk about what's been going on. So first off, we have Saintontas, aka Cum Dumpster, versus Analytical Vibes over some takes on a tier list. For those of you that missed out, there was this YouTuber, Analytical Vibes. He gave his take regarding the Withering Waves tier list, and Saintontas decided to go off on him and attack him to the point of saying that Analytical Vibes likes to expose himself and did the trench coat animation butt naked, right, to unwilling people of the public, simply because he put I exposed on a title towards Saintontas, and he proceeded to insinuate he likes to expose himself publicly to people that are not trying to see all that. Pretty damn weird, Saintontas, like always, right? But the whole thing is, it was over someone's opinion on a tier list. It was that simple. Next, Saintontas, aka Hobgoblin, versus Arigato Sodan over Saint's horrible ZZZ gameplay while attacking ZZZ. Once again, all of these games have power creep. All of these games have whatever they got going on, right? You know, learning gameplay, min-maxing rotations, all of that. The thing is, when you are just the absolute most trash gamer in the gacha space, when you can't even beat the content that you actively cover on your channel, when you struggle to do rotations and quick swapping in the game that pays you thousands upon thousands of dollars to just play, how can we take you seriously regarding your take about any other game's difficulty or combat when you suck at all of them? So he pretty much was going at ZZZ, and Arigato Sodan pretty much brought up the gameplay where Saintontas was talking shit about ZZZ and clowned him from, well, being trash at the game and then saying that the game sucks and yada yada yada. Next up, Saintontas, aka Island Boy, versus the Arknights Enfield community over saying Arknights is garbage and the endgame mode is too hard and crashing out without even beating it live on stream. Once again, this man will go into a mode one time, one day, one stream. Maybe do it a couple, 3-4 times maybe. With teams that aren't fully built, characters that aren't fully level, right? Without all their gear well done, he will proceed to get absolutely deep penetrated, and not in the way that he actually enjoys, but in the game. And he will proceed to crash out. He will say the game is too hard, they're shilling the latest units, this shit is impossible, the devs don't know what they're doing. Meanwhile, there are people on YouTube with purple characters, with SR characters, not even the super fancy banner characters, beating it with only one unit. One unit, bro. Motherfuckers out here cycling these bosses with one character. And Saint can do it while using all the limited banner characters. So he proceeded to attack Arknights Enfield, the developers, the endgame, yada yada yada. And well, multiple content creators came out and clowned him, whether it was on stream or on videos, once again exposing his shit gameplay. People like Egg made a video about him and shitted on him because, well, he sucks, so they had to like show what he was doing. Then we have Saintontas, aka Master Splinter, versus Genocide. Over Genocide streaming Duet Night Abyss on his channel, he proceeded to go crazy on Genocide. He even had him on the thumbnail of his video like this dude was in a mugshot. Like, but you already know he's deeply obsessed with Genocide. He's still jealous to this day that Jenna got to live with Tech, and you know, Saint is, well, Saint. So he's just jealous that someone got close to his idol, okay? Up next, Saintontas, aka Smeagol, versus Mr. Pokey over the false claims over Wuwa art on social media and Saint trying to blame it on Pokey or tie him to the issue. Yeah, y'all heard it here. There was some claims, some people like struck some content on social media, some art, something about like Yui or Yaoi, some shit like that. Like same-sex characters kissing or something. And they struck that, they had it taken down, and they claimed that it was Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves made an announcement, and they publicly said, that wasn't us. And well, Saintontas, because he's also obsessed with Mr. Pokey, he went ahead and actually tried to point at Pokey for all of this happening. Not directly saying he did it, but more so saying that his actions enabled that type of behavior. Up next, Saintontas, aka Bonny Blue. Hey, identical. If you look up Bonnie Blue's biggest accomplishment and you look up Saintontas' biggest accomplishment, it will say that both of them got railed by thousands of people and they enjoyed it, right? So they have very similar, type of personalities and accomplishments in their life, right? Versus Hoyoverse. Over Saint claiming Hoyo is attacking Kuro's VAs. There was some issues regarding like people attacking VAs of Dania because one of her lines doesn't sound too good. And Saintontas instantly made it as it was Hoyo, right? It was Hoyo that decided to attack Kuro's VAs, right? Once again, attacking another community. Saintontas, aka Cup Chair Champion, versus Legion Gaming over Legion's interesting drama take. Okay, that one was kind of, Legion's decided to drop a post, something along the lines of like, the gacha space is so toxic, there's a bunch of motherfuckers, this and that. Not the exact words, but something along those lines, basically saying that the space is toxic because there's a lot of drama and that he's glad he's not here. And well, a lot of people took that offensively because Legions has been one of the main people over the past years to be very toxic and very drama oriented. So a lot of people was like, oh, you're saying that drama's on all this bullshit now that you're playing other games and doing other things, like you weren't part of the whole drama. So Saintontas obviously had to capitalize on that because the picture that Legion's post to tie with that post was a Saintontas video, right? So Saintontas had to go at Legions over that shit. Saintontas, aka Donatello, versus the 7 Deadly Sins community over Saint claiming that 7 Deadly Sins, their newest games, copied Genshin Impact. For no reason. Dude don't even play the game. He just literally saw an article somewhere. He just saw someone tell him, oh, look, they done copy Genshin. And he had to make a video, once again, to rile up one community and attack another one. Just tries to get them going. If he can't have his people attack one community, he'll have 2 communities trying to beef with each other and just be sitting there trying to, stroke the flames, bro. Probably stroke himself too, because motherfucker weird when it comes to drama. He gets sweaty over that. But yeah, that was one of the big things that happened recently regarding him attacking another random game. Saintontas, aka Bobby Lee, versus the Duet Night Abyss community over claiming their game is ending service and had the, and I quote, a game with some of the most insane malware ever seen. I'm a Duet Night Abyss player, and I made a lot of content for Duet Night Abyss, and I gotta be honest with you, they never said they were ending their service, and also going on to say that it's some of the most insane malware ever seen. Is kind of crazy when I don't believe anybody reported their whole livelihood was destroyed over Duet Night Abyss over the course of this happening. Now, if they pop out now, that's kind of interesting. But during this happening, no one really came out and said, yo, my whole life is destroyed. They have my shit. Nobody. They just pretty much said, yeah, they quarantined something. There was some Ebola in that file. Not defending it. That's some bullshit. Unexcusable. And to this point, when people ask me, is it safe to play Duet Night Abyss? I tell them, I don't know. That's up to you. I don't feel comfortable telling people yes. So I'm not here defending it, but it's just the truth. Once again, trying to blow things out of the water, saying the game is ending their service, and it's some of the most insane malware ever seen. The Duet Night Abyss community didn't like that, so they had to go at him. Saintontas, aka 3'5", versus Rich Campbell over Rich making fun of Saintontas. Basically, Rich Campbell made a joke regarding a video he was watching where a person was like doing some dumb shit, and he basically said, if this person's doing this, they might as well have gone to the place where Saintontas learned how to make videos. That, along other jabs, Saintontas didn't like that. He started to throw some small jabs back, but then realized that, well, Rich is way bigger than him, right? And decided to cope his way out of actually talking shit and going for him and making a video, despite the fact that he was thinking about it and asking his chat if he should reply to it. But he decided to pretty much say no, cop out, and not say anything, bro. It's always hilarious how you have all these bigger CCs, Gotcha Smack, laughing in his face, saying, I don't consider you a friend. Tectone laughing in his face, saying those thumbnails are fucking hilarious. Rich Campbell pretty much also not fucking with Saintontas, and he doesn't reply to any of those people, but he'll go at people that are smaller than him. Like, he'll try to attack everybody that's smaller than him, but when someone with actual clout, actual motion, actual, like, movement within this, you know, whole content creation scene pops up and says something to him, this man's like, oh shit, I don't know what the fuck to say. But that was the recent one with Rich Cambo. Saintontas, aka Timu Bobby versus Captain Cabinets, over still not getting over her and stalking her while she's chilling and living life. Guys, every few streams, this motherfucker Saintontas will tab open Captain Cabinet's YouTube channel, social media, Twitch, whatever it may be, and see what she's doing. Not long ago, he was talking shit about her for 30 minutes, and Cap has been chilling, playing the game, enjoying herself for the past like 2 weeks, bro. This dude still be stalking her, bro. This dude still opens up his channel to talk some shit about her because he's obsessed. That's the only female that's ever given him attention. Not saying nobody else has given him attention. I'm just saying Cap is the only female that's actually given him attention. And he can't get over it, bro. Like, he's still obsessing over it. It's crazy. Saintontas, aka Viewbot Andy versus Sarah of the Lake. Over Sarah exposing all the shit Saint does and posting it on X. Yeah, Sarah's been on Demon Time posting everything that Saintontas says. Tagging YouTube, Twitch, whoever the hell. Letting them know, yo, this motherfucker weird. He's out here being weird, bro. What are y'all doing, bro? Like, and he don't like that. Like, he don't like that. He gets tight. He calls her out. Tells her that she's tripping or whatever. It's the same things that he always says. And this is the reason that I finally decided to make this video. Like, I just kind of woke up to it and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it, right? Saintontas, aka Grifter Supreme versus Sonny Mains. Over Saint sucking at the game, trying to cater to the hyper casuals and deep throating Gion. Guys, this is where we find ourselves right now. This is some of the crap that has been going on in just like a week or two. This dude has literally started or thrown shit at all these people or communities in about a week and a half. Like, bro, y'all can't tell me that ain't some like supreme levels of Gossip Girl. Like, we're talking about Super Saiyan Blue Real Housewives behavior, bro. Like, we're talking about he's the greatest housewife in the Real Housewives show, bro. Like, he's the supreme housewife, bro. This is all he's been doing. And I'm going to show you a quick recap before we hop on over to the whole Sonny Mains suck or are crazy because Saint decided to go at them, because the person that replied to him is someone that actually gets respect in the woo-wah community, someone that actually is known to be a good, very good woo-wah player, and, well, they decided to cook Saintontas without having to say a single word. Let's move on in.
And these bum Sonny Mains are out here telling you that there's something wrong with that gameplay. These bums are out here saying that you're the problem if you can't clear with that team. With signatures on everybody, builds on everybody, when every other 2.x DPS gets the job done and she's the only one that can't.
Really? Oh, so that's how you're gonna play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
With signatures on everybody, let's see who gets closer, Gian or Sonny. Wait, this is actually giga clearable. Wait, that is actually clearable.
And that pretty much wraps up the video, ladies and gentlemen. I really wanted to cover all of the things that he's done, and if you want, I can start going in a little bit more, but in all honesty, I don't care. The dude has been absolutely annihilated and exposed to the gacha community, to the peers, to other content creators. No, his channel's not destroyed and he didn't quit. That was never the point. The point of all that shit that happened, and especially what I did, was simply to expose the dude for what he is. Even though everybody already knew, it was brought to light a lot more than ever before. But I really wanted to make this video because I thought it was fucking hilarious how Wallenstein comes out of nowhere, destroys the content that Saintontas couldn't even do. Then Saintontas proceeds to say, yo, Gian is better, look at this, because y'all know he loves deep throating Gian. And then he can't clear, and then he says, oh, I just needed a little bit more practice. Like, he hasn't been playing Gian for about 2 years and should know his freaking rotations and perfect way to play him down to the T. And he gives the excuse. And then he says that you need Zani's team, all with signatures, all fully built. And then Wallenstein, one of the best players in the Wuwa community, comes out of nowhere, destroys what Saintontas is saying about Zani, and puts the cherry on top by having a level 1 basic ass weapon. That is crazy. Now, I wanna say this for the people that will still jump onto Saintontas to glaze him. Yes, he does state that you got a quick swap to beat content. And yes, Wallenstein does quick swap to beat content. But don't forget, he also nerfed himself by playing with a fucking level 1 weapon. But outside of that, y'all fucking gacha players, and I can make another video about this if y'all want, just cooking, whether it's the Wuwa players, the Arknights Enfield players, whatever it might be. I don't understand how me, even as a free-to player, I'm able to get my teams perfectly built in any gacha I play. Even when I've had to go to pity on everything, I get my team, the main units, and their signature weapons, and I build 1, 2, or 3 teams throughout the course of like a year or so of playing the game. But somehow these gacha players, they never want to build optimal teams because, oh, I don't like this one unit, even though it's their best in slot for their favorite character. No, I don't like him. I don't like Phoebe, so I'm not pulling her, but Zani sucks because I need Phoebe. They be complaining about needing signature weapons in this game. Why should I have to pull the signature weapon? I want to pull all the characters, not stupid weapons. But then they don't do enough damage and they blame it on the character. Like, don't get me wrong, there's obvious power creeps in all of these games. There's always newer and stronger and fancier characters that drop. But if you're effectively playing these gacha games, not wanting to build optimal teams, not wanting to get the signature weapons, not wanting to focus on 1 or 2 teams by either getting them dupes or their best in slot or whatever it may be, don't complain that the content is too hard. Quick swapping is another one of the techs. At one point, people glazed quick swapping. Yo, it's so cool, it's badass gameplay. But yes, most of us are casuals. We don't quick swap like that. We don't got them super fingers to be out here quick swapping like that. But at the end of the day, if a unit can still clear, there is definitely a lot of things to be said about it when someone is saying that you can't, especially unless you have their signatures and someone else comes out of nowhere without even their signature with a random level 1 weapon and clears the content. I just want to say that, and this is just one of the many examples of how a dude like Saintontas is trash. At the end of the day, with these gacha games, pull the characters you like, whether for their looks or their gameplay, and beat the content that's available. If at one point a character that's 1 year old, 2 years old, cannot beat the content, just get a new one. It's been a year since Zani came out, just about. I feel it's time that if she's really that hard to beat, that one stage, maybe level 4 she's struggling with, you can use her on one of the other towers on the side. You could use her for other content. But at the end of the day, y'all gotta stop making such a big deal and letting this little hobgoblin talk some shit. And I just want to add this in here because we all know what Saintontas is going to say. He's going to look at this video and say, oh, look at his other videos. They're not performing as well, so he's back to talking shit about me. And I just want to tell y'all something. I haven't really been uploading all too much. I've been just chilling, gaming, randomly streaming. And even then, I took like 3-4 days off stream to just hang out with my girl. I don't take this seriously like that. And yes, I haven't been posting as much, thus my views have been dropping because I'm not posting content or streaming as often as I should. And with that said, it just goes to show I'm super chill. But now do me a favor and do this. Peace.
Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.